My name is Terje Nilsen and I'm working for the power company in the Faroe Islands, SEV, where I've been for the last 25 years. And for the last 10 years approximately, I've been heading the R&D department at the company. It is the only electricity company in the Faroe Islands. In terms of inhabitants, approximately 55,000 inhabitants. So it's a small country. In terms of land, it's I think 1,300 square kilometers, but if you take all the economic zone, it's 260,000 square kilometers, so much bigger than Denmark. We have been looking into integration of EVs for quite some time. I think we started it back in 2009, at that point together with Dongde Energy, where our main focus was on the upcoming penetration or integration of EVs and the challenges it might impose on an isolated power system. Because in our backhead, our concerns were mostly about people coming home normally at 5 and then they charge their cars, go in and cook their dinner, etc., etc. And it will put some high pressure on the electrical infrastructure in the island system. So already back in that point in time, we decided to look more into how could we control the charging of the EVs, and that have been in the backhead of our minds for many years. And this project now does actually the fact that we take when we have excess renewable energy, we put charging orders to all our cars, so they first and foremost charge with green energy. But secondly, we do look into the congestions of the grid, so we take into consideration also that there might be some grid issues, and then we lower the charging in those load areas. So firstly, to charge with green energy, and secondly, to take care of the grid so everybody is happy and rapt. Our ambition is by 2030 to only have green energy in the electricity generation, mainly from wind, but also from hydro and from biogas and from PV panels and maybe some tidal energy and wave energy as well by 2030.
Fantastic.
We anticipate a growth in energy demand, obviously, because we incentivize people to change their means of transport into EVs and heating into heat pumps. So that will put some extra stress on the demand side. And beside that, we also anticipate a 3% growth in what we say traditional demand increase. So we're going from, say, 450, 500 gigawatt hours a day up to maybe 800 gigawatt hours by 2030, and all of them should come from green resources at that point in time. So we really need to build out our green production capacity in the upcoming years. And we have, I had to add to that, we have a really tangible roadmap up toward 2030, exactly what to build, both in terms of wind and hydro and PV, etc. I think the major thing for us is the capability of controlling the charge, so we can lower or maybe stop charging of EVs when we have congestions in the grid. And that is one of the main objectives of this project we have together with True Energy at this point in time, to be able to, when we identify some congestions in the grid, that we can lower the output to the EVs in those specific load areas. I think that's really valuable because we can choose to make some effort in this to control the charge, or we have to make new cables, even more production capacity in order to fulfill the demand of the EVs. So EVs, I'm sure they're there, and that is what we expect they to come. We don't believe, or personally I do not believe that hydrogen will play a role in the Faroes in terms of transport, because we have perfect conditions for EVs in the Faroes. Short distances, we have stable temperatures throughout the year. So it is a perfect place for EVs. And for that matter, we need to control the charge, avoiding all these investments in production capacity, grid reinforcement, etc. But we are planning now for a new tariff system in the Faroe Islands, so the energy cost or the cost per kilowatt hour is now will be maybe a year from now reflecting the energy mix, because typically we have cheap energy with wind and hydro and more expensive when it's based on fossil fuel. So whenever we have cheap prices, meaning that we have renewable energy, so it fits very well that people try to charge their cars when the energy tariff is low, because then it's green as well. So in the Faroes it goes really hand in hand, cheap and green. And first of all, we need, when it's a bit maybe technically complicated, but when we integrate a lot of wind energy, it is normally inverter-based technology, so we need to add up with batteries and synchronous condensers, etc., in order to ensure that our customers have a safe and reliable supply. Because some of the ancillary services normally coming from the diesel gensets are not there anymore. So that's why we need to add on the batteries, for instance. But if we can have the EVs to play along as well and use them in the grid management, that will ease the investments in batteries as well. So it's really there's a synergy, I would say, between batteries and EVs, but also stationary batteries. The energy situation in the Faroe Islands are quite unique because we don't have any cables to neighboring countries. So we need to balance the production and the consumption on a millisecond level. So that's why we need all these services from wherever we can have them. And that's where EVs, for instance, is a really good service that we could use in stabilizing the overall grid in the Faroes. Our focus is not to be a global showroom as such, but again, if we can help others to do efforts in lowering their emission, then we are happy to invite people to come and see our system and also to use our learnings. And we say normally free of charge from our side, because we are a non-profit company. But what is really important is the effort to lower the global emission all over. I think the answer from my side will be quite short, is to find the right partner to partner up with in order to do this. Because even if you have a good hunch about what you need to do, in our small community it's hard to find the right competences and to find the partnerships around the world that are able to help us out with this. It's really important for us, and that is something we've said all the way along, that going 100% green by 2030 is easy to say, but we definitely need others to help us on this path, because this is something we can't do on our own.